What if believing in yourself is all that you have left right now? When I hit rock bottom, that's when I started believing in myself the most, because I had nothing left to lose. When you have nothing left to lose, then what's the harm in believing in yourself fully? We believe day in, day out negative things about ourselves. We always have limiting beliefs about how we are not good enough. But what if we change the narrative and start telling ourselves how we are? Start telling ourselves how we can make it and how we will make it no matter what, no matter whatever anyone has ever told you. What if you tell yourself day in, day out, you're gonna make it, you're gonna make it. Be delusional and think that somehow everything that I've ever went through was not in vain. Everything that you're going through right now is not in vain. Anything that you're going through is growing you. So if you're in this position, I'm telling you, one day you will look back at this time and you'll think, I'm so grateful that this happened, because now I have the knowledge that I needed back then. Now I'm a bigger person than I was back then. But you have to make that decision to take all of that knowledge and use it for something better. Use it to grow yourself. Okay, let's get right into it. First things first, get rid of the limiting beliefs from your environment. See, how do our thoughts get created? It's when we are born as babies, as children, we look at our parents. We look at the way they think. We look at the way they behave, and we start adapting those beliefs and behaviors. If your parents have a limiting belief about money, you will have a limiting belief about money because you grew up that way. You know, I really imagine a world if I grew up in a way where my parents never put fear onto me of other people, or, oh, don't do this because that will ruin the reputation. Oh, don't do this and that. I would never have felt insecure, embarrassed, or anything. I would just be myself authentically, and I would have never felt like I had to dim myself. But because from a child age, the parents, they put that into you, you act in a way subconsciously that is always dimming your light. But honey, dimming your light will not get you anywhere. Dimming your light hasn't gotten your parents anywhere. So you have to look at what will get me the furthest. In 2013, there was a study conducted where they made male mice smell cherry blossom, and anytime they would smell it, they would zap and electrocute their feet. So anytime they did that, the male mice started to learn that cherry blossom smell is associated with pain, and they had fear of the smell of cherry blossom. Then they took the male mice and they made them breed with female mice that never had electrocution, that didn't have that issue. So they made children together, and when they had the children, these children would immediately fear or get nervous when they smelled cherry blossom. They knew it because it was in their gene and in their biology to not do that. Now you have to imagine how much of your limiting beliefs or how much of your insecurities are just from your parents that you inherited through gene and DNA. Maybe it's not you. So start really asking yourself, do I believe this about myself? Or is this something that I got from my mother, got from my father, from my ancestors? And you can rewire those beliefs. You know at what advantage you are if you just believe in yourself? Because 99% of people do not believe in themselves. 99% of people are afraid of others' opinions, are afraid to look embarrassed, and they don't think that they can do that thing. But you have that 1% that just believes in themselves, that doesn't care, they make it. So if you become of that 1%, you don't have a lot of competition. You really, really don't. Another thing is the law of conformity. This basically means that no matter how hard you try to do something, your environment will always dictate who you are. This is very, very true. If you are trying to love yourself constantly or believe in yourself that you can do something, but you have someone around you constantly in your ear telling you, you will not achieve that, you cannot do that, at some point you're going to start to believe that person over yourself, because this is the environment you have. If you live in a household where this is the case, then try to minimize contact with these people. Try to stay at work as much as you can. Try to stay away from them as much as you can, or in your room, don't engage with them. Then try to change your environment. For me, the environment that I grew up in, the country that I grew up in, I never felt like it was open-minded enough for me to create. So I moved immediately when I met my ex-partner. I moved immediately where he was living, and my career started exploding after that, immediately. In the country that I was growing up, social media was really looked down upon. They would like kind of laugh at you. It was like that kind of mindset. So I moved to a country where you have a lot of entrepreneurs, where they're doing social media. And then I just felt like I could expand so much faster. So if you are not changing, maybe you need to change your environment. Start believing that you deserve to take up space. My sister showed me this TikTok video of this beautiful woman. She has an autoimmune disease which made her extremely skinny, and someone had commented on her stuff like, oh, you're so ugly. And she responded to that and she was like, even though you think I'm ugly, I deserve to take up space. I deserve to put my content out there and I deserve to be seen. Even though I'm not what you like, I deserve to be here. I just think that's so beautiful and powerful. It's just realizing that no matter what anyone tells you, no matter that you think that you're not good enough, just being here means that you're a miracle and means that you're allowed to take up space. God didn't put you on earth to not take up space. There was space for you, and that's why you came to this earth. That's why you have a mission on this earth and you have a purpose. But that purpose cannot be fulfilled because your lack of self-belief is blocking the purpose. No one is holding you back. You are holding yourself back. Don't give anyone power over you to think that they can take something from you or make you feel something. They can't make you feel anything if you don't allow yourself to feel it. Also, resistance is what lowers the vibration. For example, I get a comment like, oh, I think she's so ugly. Now, if I will resist, like, oh, I'm not ugly. No, I'm not ugly. I do really look good, all these things. Then I'm lowering my vibration because I'm putting so much energy into something that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you think I'm good looking or whether you think I'm not good looking. It matters how I show up for myself day in, day out. It matters how I feel about myself. You really have to ask yourself, why should I feel any less about myself because someone else cannot see me the way I see myself? Why would you give someone power like that? If you just accept like, I am ugly to you and that is okay, it can just pass through. The more you try to resist being angry, the more you try to resist being sad, the more you try to resist all these emotions, is the more you'll feel worse and worse, and your energy goes into resisting it instead of letting it pass through. I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna even cry for a month. Let me cry. I'm gonna be angry. I'm gonna yell. I'm gonna shout. Let me do that. It doesn't matter. But when it's done, and I can move on from that. Another part of believing in yourself is becoming okay with not being chosen and not being liked. A lot of people will not like you in life, and that is just the harsh truth. Especially if you're trying to do something on social media, you'll get a lot of backlash even the more you grow. You'll have to accept it. You'll have to come to a point where these people will not like me or these people will not choose me. You guys all go, oh, I'm crying, guy didn't want me, all these things. But what about it? What about it? Does that determine your worth? Just because someone said, I don't like you? You know how many times I heard I don't like you? And I don't care. Why should I care about what they think in their world about me? I cannot allow that in. Liz is the owner of her world. And if Liz likes herself, if I go day in, day out thinking, you know, I'm the greatest thing that has walked this earth, that's what I'm going to create for myself. If you go and you walk around like, you know what, this world has not seen magic yet and I'm the magic. Great, that's what you're going to create, a magical world. But if you go around like, oh my God, this person rejected me, so now I'm worth nothing, that is what you will create. A person that is worth nothing because you gave all that power to that one person. Another thing is you have to believe that happy you exists. You have to believe that a version of you exists that is living the life that you want, that has accomplished what they want, and that is living the purpose that they want. It exists. You would not want it if it wasn't inside of you. The more you start to visualizing it for yourself, like this is who I really want to be, and then you put in the work, guys. This is the big mistake that everyone makes, like, oh, I should just believe in myself and sit down. No, you put in the work. What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to do? And then you do it. If you fail at it, you try again. Maybe you try with something else, but at least you tried. You're already 50% in front of other people because they never tried. Become okay with redirection and letting go. I was talking to this friend of mine and she was telling me how she had prayed to God after having so many bad relationships. She had prayed to God. She was like, God, please, like, give me a good relationship. Finally, I'm ready to love. and I'm really in a good position. She said after that, she attracted one of probably the worst partners she ever had. But this person taught her to love herself. And that was her lesson. Her lesson wasn't to seek love in a partner. Her lesson was to love herself first. Her lesson was to come home to herself first. If you're whole and if you believe that you deserve the best thing in life, anything you want, you can get. There is no way that someone can come into your life that doesn't have that same vibration. But when we say we're ready for a new partner, we're ready, we're finally healed, God will test you one last time and be like, are you? You have to take those lessons and you have to move on and see them as redirection. I've so many times thought that, oh, I want this, or I want this guy, or I want this relationship, and then it didn't work out. And then I was like, oh God, like, why is this? But then I got something so much better when I let go of it. When I let go of it, I got something that I could never even have imagined for myself. But your higher self and God has bigger plans for you. You cannot see it. You only see the bad things right now. You only see the suffering right now. You don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. God would not let you suffer for no reason. It is for you to grow. You need to grow into the person that is your higher self. And how do you grow into that person? It's through relationships. It's through loss. It's through all these lessons, because that's how we learn.